everyone. My name is Carly Gotts and I'm the Product and Marketing Manager for Botanica. And today I'm joined by botanical guide Teena Crawford, who's one of Australia's most respected plants people. She managed the well-known Smith & Gordon production nursery in Melbourne for many years. She's been a garden radio presenter, a board member of the NGIV, a journalist, and a show judge for many years as well. And that's what I have asked Teena to come and talk to me about today, her time as a garden show judge. So welcome, Teena. Tell us about the process of judging the gardens at Melbourne Flower Show.
The Melbourne Flower Show, our International Flower and Garden Show, is held each March in the wonderful Carlton Gardens and Exhibition Buildings of Melbourne. It's a great event, a huge industry thing, international designers, and I was very lucky to judge the show gardens over a number of years. The show gardens are a landscape display that is created by landscape designers and landscape architects to exhibit good landscape design principles and planting concepts. They enter a competition called the Show Garden Competition, and it's highly prized and sought out, where they get awarded medals if the gardens are deemed good enough after the judging. It takes 3 or 4 judges from highly respected industry people, and the judging process happens on a Tuesday afternoon from 3 p.m. The garden builders have had 2 weeks to build their gardens, and this is the afternoon before the show opens. Quite often we were judging right into the night, but there are 4 main principles that they look for. The first principle is overall impression. This is the creativity, the innovation, and the coherence of the design. The second one is the overall design, which it takes into things like scale and texture, interest and harmony. The third is construction. Very, very important that these gardens look like they could sit there for 100 years, even though they're only there for a couple of weeks. And then the last one is plants and planting. And this is about the quality. This is about being horticulturally correct. And actually, it's worth the most points. It's all scored out of 100 points, and the plant part of it is actually 30 points. If the gardens are deemed good enough, and the best ones, 80 points or over, you would receive a gold medal. And that's what everybody's aiming for. That's
really fascinating, Teena. Thank you. And so as a plants person, what do you look for in a garden design?
Well, a plants person, for me, a garden design, it's the success of the garden is how the garden actually makes you feel. You need to feel good. It needs to excite your senses, the whole 5 senses: sight, smell, taste, and hear. I like to see a good balance of the softscape, which is the plants, in relation to the hardscape. In recent years, the trends are very big on lots of hardscape parts in your garden, but I like that there's a good percentage of plant material. I like gardens that are planted for all the seasons, not just one season. Lovely harmony of colours, and of course flowers, and plenty of them.
Absolutely. And so what are some of your favourite garden designs that you've seen over the years?
There's been very many and diverse garden designs at the flower show, and this is what's always so exciting. So each year you go and see something different. But a couple of that are quite memorable. One, Phil Withers, a talented garden designer from Melbourne, and very organic potager-style gardens where he mixes natives and exotics together, and great for a lover of plants and produce. Another one that I remember fondly is one that was done by 2 prominent designers, Mark Browning and Lisa Alice. Both designers in their own right, but come from different angles in relation to garden design, and they collaborated using Victorian slate, so a local product, balancing that strong architectural feature in the garden with lovely, soft, free-flowing plantings. In recent years, another designer called Brett Reed from Candio Design, he has joined forces with Northern Territory Tourism and created gardens that have a striking native plant palette, evoking lots of memories from me from my travels outback in the Australian outback. So I love that too.
Beautiful. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's great. And what are some of your other favourite flower and garden shows that you visited around the world?
Well, over the years, I've been very lucky to visit many of the flower shows around the world, and they all, I remember fondly in different ways. For a real international flavour, I don't think you can go past the themed gardens at the Singapore Garden Festival. It's held in the amazing gardens by the bay in Singapore. Amazing feat, quite different. They have different categories there. They have Flora Windows of the World, and they have the Singapore Orchid Show and balcony gardens. It's really truly a day out in a very international modern city. My most favourite probably would be, and it's sort of out in the back really, is the International Garden Festival held at Chateau Chaumont, which is in the Loire Valley in France. It's where heritage, art and gardens meet. It's an international rendezvous of designers from around the world. Generally there's 30 exhibits. They build a garden and gardens are there to go and visit for about 6 months of the year between April and October, and actually during that time actually evolve. But it's in the most wonderfully romantic setting of this chateau and its gardens, and so I do love going to visit that. And of course Chelsea Flower Show. Yeah, you can't talk about this without talking about Chelsea Flower Show. It's the most famous flower show in the world, held in the grounds of the Chelsea Hospital. A feast for all the senses, which of course makes excite me. I'm getting a bit tingly even talking about it. It's a show everyone must visit, and at least once in your lifetime, and more if you have the opportunity to.
And next year we're going to see the once every 10-year event of Floriade happening again in the Netherlands, which looks absolutely fascinating.
I remember the 2012 Floriade fondly, and I'm very, very much looking forward to the 2022. It's in the 2022. It's going to be held in Elmere in the Netherlands between April and October, and it's an international horticultural expo. The theme for 2022 is green, food, energy and health, which I think is wonderful. Plants can be such a strong contributor to this and to our health and well-being, not just to look at, but holistically. There's one aspect I'm particularly looking forward to it, which is the Green City Arboretum. And an arboretum is a group of trees that are planted, highlighting the value of trees for our cities and mankind. And, you know, things like trees bring shade, they reduce hot cities, they bring clean air by filtering the air, and of course biodiversity, sustainable food crops. So it's a wonderful event, and it's amazing because so many countries involved, and definitely you need to put it on your to-do list.
Yeah, absolutely. I went in 2012 and it was such a memorable event, so I'm looking forward to seeing 2022. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Teena. It's really lovely to see you. If you would like more information about travelling with Teena in 2021, please visit our website at www.botanica.travel. But thank you, Teena.
Thanks, Carly.